This is Daily Armenia, ＳիվիլNeթ's daily news digest. Here's what you need to know today. Armenia and Azerbaijan have agreed to restart normalization talks after months of delay, following a meeting between the two countries' leaders in Germany over the weekend. Meeting formally for the first time since last July, Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev held talks Saturday in Munich, initially alongside German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and then one-on-one. In a brief readout, Pashinyan's office said the sides have agreed to continue work on a peace treaty, without elaborating. Normalization talks had largely stalled after Azerbaijan's lightning offensive against Nagorno-Karabakh last September, which led to the collapse of the local government and the ethnic cleansing of nearly all the region's Armenians, or some 100,000 people. Pashinyan, who was in Germany to attend this year's Munich Security Conference, also met with the U.S. Secretary of State over the weekend, warning Antony Blinken of a new phase of tension between Armenia and Azerbaijan, citing the Armenian soldiers killed on the border last week. For his part, Blinken stressed Washington's support for Armenia's sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity. Blinken also met separately with Aliyev to raise the importance of Azerbaijan adhering to its international commitments and obligations regarding human rights, the State Department said. Pashinyan has indicated his administration considers its prior commitment to allow Russia to oversee an overland connection between mainland Azerbaijan and its Nakhichevan exclave through Armenia's southernmost Sunnik region null and void. Speaking to members of Germany's Armenian community in Munich yesterday, Pashinyan said that commitment, included in the Russia-brokered ceasefire that ended the 2020 war, was no longer relevant, arguing that both Russia and Azerbaijan have completely violated their obligations under that declaration. The 2020 ceasefire declaration says Armenia should specifically allow for transit between Nakhichevan and the rest of Azerbaijan via Sunnik as part of the restoration of all economic and transport links in the region. It goes on to say the route should be overseen by Russian border guards. Pashinyan said yesterday he remained ready to allow for Azerbaijani transit through Sunnik as part of his administration's Crossroads of Peace proposal, but insisted that no other country will control any of Armenia's territory. Since the 2020 war, Azerbaijan has repeatedly demanded an extraterritorial corridor through Sunnik, at times threatening force if Armenia does not comply. Pashinyan has explicitly announced Armenia recognizes Ukraine's territorial integrity, marking some of the Prime Minister's clearest and most forceful remarks on the subject to date. The Alma-Ata Protocol is the foundation for recognizing our independence and territorial integrity. The same should apply to the case of Ukraine, Pashinyan told Germany's Armenian community yesterday. Those comments were in reference to a 1991 treaty saying international borders between former Soviet countries should be based on communist-era administrative boundaries. Armenia has repeatedly called for ongoing border delimitation efforts with Azerbaijan to be conducted in accordance with that document. In response, a Kremlin spokesperson was quoted by state news today as saying that Russia and Armenia have diametrically opposed points of view regarding what is happening in Ukraine and regarding the Ukrainian conflict. Dmitry Peskov added, "This is not a secret. We do not agree with them on this, and we will persistently continue to explain to them that we are right." Yerevan's relations with Moscow have deteriorated sharply in recent years, with frustration mounting over Russia's inability or unwillingness to come to Armenia's defense in line with its treaty obligations. At the same time, Armenia's ties with Ukraine have been warming notably. Catch up on Armenia's latest economic news with our most recent episode of Business Week Armenia. This week, we covered the dismissal of former Economy Minister Vahan Keropyan and his subsequent indictment and detention on charges of abuse of power. We also took a look at indications the United Kingdom-based owner of the Bank of Georgia may acquire Ameria Bank, one of Armenia's largest lenders, which was officially announced today. You can watch the full broadcast through the link in this video's description or on our website. And finally, the ＳiviLNet number of the day is 155. Today is the 155th anniversary of the birthday of Armenia's national poet Hovhannes Tumanyan, who is known for a variety of works, including novels, ballads, and fairy tales. Armenians celebrate it as an annual book-giving holiday, which encourages reading and gifting books to others. And as always, please follow ՍիվiLNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.